Other shows we have for you to enjoy at myclassicradio.net. The Avengers was most certainly not a household name in South Africa prior to the radio series. With no national television service until 1976, the mechanism simply was not present in the country to show television programs to mass audiences. While many other countries reveled in the filmed adventures of John Steed and Company, South Africa was not equipped to join in the fun. The series took Britain by storm and made a major impression in the American markets, being the greatest of rarities, a British series given a network transmission slot. However, as a filmed series, rather than a videotaped one, The Avengers was able to gain a modicum of exposure in South Africa through film rentals. Come and listen at myclassicradio.net.
We now I want him to allow me to marry Benedetta.
Oh, my poor Marco. But what
Now, do not ask me about my 4 wives in Venice.
But I thought they meant so much to you.
Oh, they mean nothing to me, less than nothing.
Because they do not exist, Marco Polo.
Correct, Zilana. They do not exist.
Well, we must see what we can do to aid you. Has 10 times messenger left the city yet, Doctor?
Not yet, Zilana. He is resting.